Went by my favorite hobby shop, Smokestack Hobby Shop. Found these used Norfolk and Southern coal cars made by MTH. They're in perfect condition, look like they're brand new, which that kind of bothers me because I like to have my cars look a little bit older. These CSX cars, I weathered them a while back and did a video on that, and I used a different technique for them. And you see, I just added a little bit of road grime to them just so that they would look used. I didn't try to make them look really old and weathered. With the Norfolk and Southern, I did a different technique on these. And I haven't seen anyone do this before, so I wanted to do a video and show how I did it. But this is how they came out. You can see they just look like they're used, and I prefer that. So let's get right into it. I used oil pastels. These oil pastels I've had for 30 years or more. But I looked and checked at Joann Fabrics. They have them. Also Hobby Lobby has them. And they're about $8 for a set that has a bunch of different colors in it. So I used two paintbrushes that are just junky paintbrushes. They're not like nice ones or anything. Paper towel and some thinner, a little bit of paint thinner like linseed oil or something. And that's all you need. There's no airbrush or anything. It's just the oil pastels, a little bit of thinner, a couple paintbrushes, and a paper towel. So first what I do is, now I'm just using black on this part, and you just kind of scribble. These oil pastels are kind of like crayons. So I just kind of scribble on the cars where I want some color. So really it's just scribbling. You just scribble around where you want some color. So I did like up along the top ledge and down on the bottom. So on this one I used a little bit of brown on the bottom side. And same thing, you just kind of scribble on where you want some color. Nothing, I mean this is a technique. It doesn't take any skill really. I mean maybe a little bit. But you're scribbling on some color where you want it. Went back with some black, scribbled on some black on the bottom so it'd be a little darker down there. Another thing I like about this technique is that it's pretty adjustable. So if you get too much on somewhere by using thinner, you can remove a lot of the color. So I'll show you this. Now this is just regular thinner. It's clear. It doesn't have anything in it. It looks like it's black in that bottle, but it's just clear. So the brush that's wet with thinner kind of turns the oil pastels into like a paint. So you can see I'm just kind of really still kind of scribbling. I'm just kind of scribbling the color around with the wet thinner, and the thinner just makes the oil pastels go right around those like little rivets and stuff. It really works neat. So adding thinner and just going around and getting all of the oil pastel stuff wet. I'm also doing this video live in real time. I mean, so you can see how quickly this goes. Because while the thinner is still kind of wet, that's when you can make any adjustments to this stuff. So like on the ladders, I tried to leave some of the color on the ladders, not get as much of it off with the thinner. But you can change the color of things on the cars or whatever you're weathering. So you can see like when I'm going back and forth adding more thinner, the brush kind of picks up some of the oil pastels and becomes like paint. Now it looks like it's too dark and this is getting messed up, but it's not. This is just how you do it. Get everything wet with the thinner, and then you can go back and adjust it how you want it. It's really neat how this works. So this, I just did one side of this car on this video, and it takes about 5 minutes. This won't be any longer than that. And in the 5 minutes, I'll have this one side done. I did 8 cars, and I did them all just about the same technique. Well, it was exactly the same technique, actually. But they all come out different, and each one took me about 15 minutes to do the whole car. Where I did a couple of takes with the video just to make sure I had everything covered. And the videos, I did one side in 5 minutes, easy. But the whole car took me about 15 total, and it was done. And when it's done, you don't have to wait for anything to dry. It's done. So now that this is still wet with the thinner, I'm going over it with the paper towel and just kind of wiping. Now when I do sides of the cars, or like on the steam engine, the boiler, I always go up and down with it, my strokes. So you can see all that, I'm keeping it up and down. That makes it to look more natural. And I want to add a little more thinner to this. This was really pointless. And you see afterwards, it didn't really make a difference. But for whatever reason, I thought I needed to add a little more thinner there. Using a paintbrush, this is another paintbrush that's kind of a bigger, fluffier paintbrush. You could go into your wife's makeup compact and get her little blush brush out. It's pretty much the same thing. All I'm doing is smearing this around, kind of blending in the pastels so that then it almost looks like it's airbrushed, but you can be very detailed with it and not be practiced with an airbrush. So you just kind of go up and down with it, and you just kind of go back and forth with the paper towel and a brush, and blend it all in until you get it the way you want it. So that's pretty much it. That's how it works. With the colors and stuff, there's so much variety of what you can do with these. I'll leave a link to, I did the Y6B, my 2882. I did it also with Oil Pastels. I'll have a link to that either in the description or in the video. Also these CSX cars, I'll have a link to those also, the video I did with those. This is how the Norfolk and Southern coal cars came out, and I'm pretty happy with them. So comment, smash that like button, and subscribe, because you don't see this kind of stuff anywhere else. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and God bless.